whales are buying the dip with plans to buy even more. We also got MICA taking effect today. XRP stuck at the $2 mark. Trump rally fading.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Happy Monday, everyone. And this move with crypto is different than previous tests. We're going to talk XRP price at the end, along with other juicy crypto news. But your comments come first because, yes, you, the viewer, matter most. By the way, happy Monday, everyone. Hopefully it's a good one for you. Brandon Anderson starts us off and says the Hopium channels are strong, but the block button is stronger. For real, I have been melting down the mute button with all these fucking knob gobblers out there. Oh, we're going to $100. We're going to $10,000. I'm like, come on now, everyone. We still falling for that bullshit? What else do I got for you? Ticey Griffin dropping support on the channel. Thank you, sir. Says, Klaus, you hoop? Love that. How tall are you and do you follow the NBA? If so, who's your team? I am not tall. I shoot from the outside and I move fast. Grew up Chicago in the 90s, so obvious to tell where my love goes to. It's for the Bulls, my guy. I watched the triangle offense, a little bit of Phil Jackson, a little Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and a big man in the middle. Now that big man could be Luke Longley. Maybe Tony Kukoc could play in there. Maybe a little Bill action in the center. Yeah, I love my basketball. D Rose was a letdown. You let me know how you feel about that. Jeremiah Fincher says, Mark Cuban. I lost my ass with Voyager, specifically. Yeah, exactly. Mark Cuban is a piece of crap. Bitcoin sitting at 91,730. This move is way different than previous ones, and I'm going to share it with you. But, and there is a but, there was actually two buts right there. Now there's three buts. Now there's four. Oh, okay, just stop. It's different. I'm going to share with you why at the end, and whales are buying. XRP down 6% to $2.02. H-bar down 6% as well to 26 cents. Doge hanging out at 31 cents, while XLM right now is hanging out at 32 cents. EU's MICA takes full effect today. Here's what you need to know. We're going to watch and see what happens with it, but I wanted to share this with you. One notable aspect is the prohibition on granting interest on ARTs and EMTs, which could affect decentralized finance operations. Additionally, issuers must adhere to stringent governance, risk management, and compliance with anti-money laundering and counterterrorism laws. ARTs must be backed by a reserve of asset matching the token's value. You're going to see some very interesting things happen here with interest and yield. And we're going to see how the crypto market reacts to MICA taking effect today. So taking effect today, hopefully the reason we're in the red ain't because of MICA, and hopefully it's just people being greedy instead. But I'll keep you up to date with that. MicroStrategy adds BTC for the 8th consecutive week. So the whales are buying, and they're telling us they're going to buy even more. They're like, look, we don't care if BTC goes to 70,000. We don't care if it goes to 170,000. We're going to keep buying. MicroStrategy disclosed filings confirming it bought another 2,000 plus BTC for $209 million. That's chump change, girlfriend. This brings MicroStrategy's 8th consecutive weekly BTC purchase, bringing its average price now to $62,000. Oh, okay. The company has spent almost $30 billion on its holdings. Here's the filing for you. They file all this stuff with the SEC, and it's also on their investor relations tab. As always, any article you see in this video, along with all my others, will be linked to everyone. Come on, say it in the description below. Yeah, you know where it is. It's down there. Okay, so MicroStrategy. 8th week in a row of buying, and they're going to be buying way, way more. And you're like, Klaus, what do you mean how much more they're buying? Dude, they have a lot. The company has $6.88 billion remaining from its ATM program, signaling more purchases are on the horizon. Dude, they got almost $7 billion left to buy. These dudes are going to own like everything. Genius Group boosts its Bitcoin holdings amid strong BTC yield performance. Genius Group has increased its holdings 50% to 30 million as part of its ambitious BTC first strategy. The company reported a significant BTC yield of 1,600% in Q4, demonstrating strong performance in its Bitcoin treasury. Basically, they're doing the same thing. They're like, yo, we're going to use BTC. We're going to ride the dips. We're going to ride the tips. And we're going to ride the... No, I almost went naughty there. That'd be like if I was a chick. My chick's going to ride, yeah. Okay, so sorry, I won't do that one. But they're going to do the same thing. They're going to keep buying whether it's going down or whether it's going up. So you have to ask yourself right now, this tough time that we're in. I mean, and this is tough, right? Because this isn't fun. Players that got into BTC, 105,000+, XRP players that got in at $2.50. You're like, bro, I'm down like 20, 25%. I get that. And you got to do what's best for you. But you also have to understand that come January 20th, the new regime takes effect. And that new regime right away is going to start on making things better. So do you have the stones and do you have the financial oomph to weather storms like this? Sailor does, and he's going to keep buying. Genius Group does, and they're going to keep buying. Bitcoin rally fueled by Trump loses steam as the year draws to a close. I do kind of agree with this. It is definitely losing steam. Zoom out with XRP and you can kind of see what we're talking about here, right? We touched some peak hysteria hyperoni action early December, and it's kind of gone down. The crypto market is well known for that. For those of you new viewers watching, crypto market is totally big into pumps and dumps. I bring your comments at the beginning, right? Whether it's hot, spicy, naughty, or relevant. And that's why I brought up Brandon Anderson's comment about the hopium channels are strong, but the block button is stronger. There were so many hopium channels out there calling for like, oh, we're going to have $1,000 XRP in December. We're trying, no. So you just got to keep things realistic, okay? And that's part of the problem. Part of the problem was the hype that drove a lot of this big initial pumperoni here was news, but the news hadn't taken effect yet. Gensler announced his resignation. We all were happy about it. We were like, good. Please let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. In fact, I'll kick the door from the other side so it like, pow, right in his butt, right? Maybe it like right above his butt crack, like where his butt crack and his spine is, because that'd be like really sensitive right there, right? So anyways, after he got hit in the butt by me kicking the door, you're sitting here and you're going, okay, was that hysteria justified? I think so. But you can't hold that steam all the time, right? Remember a couple weeks ago I was telling you, look, you can't train hard every day and not expect to pull back, kind of acclimate and get used to it, right? Well, that's what the crypto market's doing. The crypto market, like, train, and then all of a sudden it's like, yo, we need to slow it down a little bit. Let's chill the F out. Let's see what's happening. Let's see where the floor ends up, and that's what you're seeing. But, and there's a big but right here, how much pain will we suffer until those new regs, until the leadership gets in control? That's where you have to ask yourself, what is your appetite for this? Not my appetite. What is your appetite? Because your situation, my situation are very different. That's why you bring in the news, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. Not like a hopium channel where I only bring you good news, like, oh my God, everything is great. Not always like that, everyone. There's some bad stuff out there as well. So, do I understand why the market is losing steam? Yes, I totally do, and it makes perfect sense. You can't keep the hysteria train rolling because there's still not that much money out there. Inflation is still high, rates are still way the F up there, and there's still a little bit of global turmoil that people are worried about. So it's obvious that people aren't going to open up their pocketbooks as much. All right, let's talk about XRP specifically because I told you that this move is different, and it is very different. You're going to see why. And this is a big test. I might get a little serious here. I'm trying not to. I'm going to try to keep the energy up, but I might get a little serious here, okay? XRP price faces pressure below $2 as market uncertainty grows. Okay, I see that. $2 is a big one. When I asked a lot of you out there, what is a good value purchase for XRP? A huge chunk of you were like right around that $2 mark. $1.98, $1.99, $1.90, $1.95, $2. Right around that mark right there. So $2 is a big one. Strong sign of support along with a strong site of resistance. Now, in terms of crypto, we know the picture. We know the deal, right? Not pretty at all. But the reason this move is different is I'm going to take this to the 1 month chart so I could show you something, okay? Look at this. In the 1 month chart, you remember what happened right here? Remember that 60 Minutes interview and XRP just did a nasty crash-a-roni, and then it pumped right back up? And then you remember right here, right, we had another crash-a-roni when Jerome Powell was like, yo, I'm an a-hole. I'm not giving it to you 4 times next year. I'm only going to give it to you twice. And we're like, oh, you jerk, man. Yeah, okay. So look at how fast those crashes happened. You see the downward momentum on that? They were like flash crashes. What is going on? World is coming into an end. Same thing with this one here. Now look what happens when I move to this one. It is a lot slower down. So it's not a hysteria flash crash, but more people selling on what? The lack of action. Now, Volume is up on XRP, and we talked about that in yesterday's videos. Yeah, go back if you didn't watch them, but I believe most of you have. We are up 127% on volume for 5.5 billion. So I'll ask you a question. Who's making money right now in crypto? And you're like, bro, how are people making money? We're at $2 XRP. Price has been down over the last several weeks. Exchanges are making money. They make money whether you buy or sell, right? They just love juicy volume. So when they all of a sudden see volume spike up 127% to 5.5 billion, they're like, yo, we're making money again, even if you players aren't. But the players out there like MicroStrategy and others are like, yo, we're going to buy the dip. In fact, MicroStrategy has $7 billion left to buy the BTC dip. So this move is a little different because you're seeing a bit more of a slower paced erosion with XRP compared to the previous two flash crashes. Those previous two flash crashes, we saw a lot of buy orders executed around that $2 mark, which gave us the support we needed to pump back up. Now we're going to see if the market has that over a longer duration of time. That's a huge test. A test we have no idea on how we're going to fare. Now let's do this. Let's zoom into those candlesticks here. And you know we're going to go to the 15 minutes. Why? Because within 15 minutes I can do a lot of things, okay? I can do a lot of things. I can do 14 minutes of running and 1 minute of just screwing around. See, I told you, I could keep it PG-13. But here's the deal. 15-minute candlesticks look like this, okay? We were hanging out right around that 220 mark quite a few days, 220, 230, we're cool with that. The Christmas pump did not last. That was kind of almost like an exit liquidity opportunity for a lot of players out there that wanted to move their short-term positions. Once that happened and you saw that big volume explosion for Christmas go away, then all of a sudden you were like, oh shit. And when volume really went down the 28th, 29th, and 30th, we were like, all right, cool. What happens on Monday when the traditional markets open up, knowing that volume is going to come right back down again come Wednesday? And you're like, Klaus, why Wednesday? Because of New Year's Day. A lot of people around the globe are going to be taken off. So we're talking about action squeezed between two holidays, two low volume holidays, right? And we also know that the hysteria is melting away, right? The Bitcoin rally, the crypto rally in general, fueled by the whole Trump election action and all the changes with crypto, yeah, that's wearing off because people are like, all right, cool, January 20th. But what about until then? See, not everyone is as patient as a Michael Saylor is. Not everyone is as patient as MicroStrategy and other players out there. Some people, they want that money right away. Part of the problem is because hopium channels out there are telling you, oh, if you hold on to this next week, it's going to be worth 10,000. So their expectation is here, and then reality is really, really far down here. And ladies, the 7% of you watching, I know I talk about jumblies, and I like jumblies. I think you like jumblies too. See, I don't have jumblies. That's why I talk about it. But ladies, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to expectation versus reality, right? Dude's talking all this game, texting you all this naughty stuff. Oh, we're going to go out tonight. I'm going to take you here. I'm going to take you there. We're going to hit that new restaurant. I've got a special table set up for us. All this stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, nothing materializes, right? He maybe takes you out, but he takes you out like somewhere like real basic. And you're like, but dude, the expectation was this and the reality was this way down here. And then as a chick, you feel let down, right? Well, that's kind of how the crypto market feels, especially now that we're all sitting here going, okay, well, now what? Okay, well, if 280 is our biggest thing that we're going to hit with XRP before January, does that mean we're going to go down to 180? Does that mean we're going to go down to 150? So this is where the market now is going to digest that emotional aspect of all of this. We know, okay, we've got 3.5 weeks left until Trumpito takes office and things start changing when it comes to regs and leadership being pro-crypto, okay? I'm just keeping this in a crypto scope, okay? So players out there are like, all right, hysteria is over. I don't know if we're going to get another pump from now until then. You could if you get juicy CPI data, and if Jerome Powell comes out with a cut, that could really help the markets. But that's what everyone in the market is looking for. And when you zoom into these candlesticks, we're going to see this big fight here right around the $2 mark. In fact, these last 4 candlesticks, which represents the last hour, has had lows at $2.0037, $2.0067, $2.0063, and this candlestick right here, $2.005. So in 1 hour, we have been heavily fighting that $2 mark. If we could stay north of that, awesome. For you players out there that are going with the MicroStrategy attack strategy, MicroStrategy attack strategy. Yeah, that made sense. Good job, Klaus. Guess what? You're sitting here going, all right, cool. Go below $2. I've got some dry powder ready for you, but you got to be ready for these moments. See, and in previous moves, I told you, hey, you wanted sub $2 XRP, you had opportunities, right? And I kept telling everyone about that. You have opportunities out there, sub $2 XRP. Now we're going to see how long this opportunity here lasts because the downturn is much slower. It's at the beginning of a week with another low volume suckfest coming in a couple days as New Year's takes over. And when New Year's takes over, you're going to get a fresh money injection as capital budgets fire back up again, new budgets fire back up in 2025. But you're also going to see traditional finance take a break from the markets again for a few days. That's what you saw in the middle of the week with Christmas. You're going to see the same thing in the middle of the week with New Year's. How can XRP do during this? Well, we're going to find out and we're going to watch it. So that you don't miss out, hit the subscribe button and notification bell because you know I'm going to keep bringing you the news. All right, so we got a couple things going on right now. We've got pumps and dumps in crypto, which is not good for the long-term holders out there because it just looks sideways when you zoom out, right? And we saw what the last 2 years of pumps and dumps did for us. You had a whole bunch of hopium creators out there telling you, oh, you're going to make, and then all of a sudden we're like, bro, you see what happened? Poop. Yeah. You also got MICA taking effect today. And remember, when new regs take effect on day one, everyone always kind of worries, panics, and freaks out, but then we find ways around it, right? And that's kind of the nature of humans out there. We find ways around regulations. We find ways around government over-regulations. Now, the MICA regulations are good, but there's a definite need for improvement. Yield products are going to be affected heavily. Yield will then affect stablecoins. Stablecoins could then heavily affect the alts. But we're going to see if the effects today, the price action, the negative action, is tied to MICA, or if it's just tied to players knowing that, hey, we're going to have middle of the week lull again, and then we're going to go into the weekend, and then we're going to go into January, and then we're going to be like, okay, it's January. What do we do until January 20th? Because, like, think about that, right? This is that weird thing, and I can totally relate, and maybe you can relate to this too. I love running, I love racing, and I love competitions, right? And when I do these big builds, like I'm training like hardcore, like I mean insanely hardcore for hours and hours a day. And the last few weeks before a competition, I shut it down and I start tapering, right? So I sit there and I'm like, yo, I'm feeling good, but I got to start shutting it down because the big day is a few weeks away. That's what the market's doing. And that's what the market's done. The market did tons and tons of hard work from November all the way through to that mid-December mark, and then you kind of saw things tapering down, getting ready for the big day of January 20th. And you can't go gonzo, nutso all the time. You just can't. Markets don't work that way because there's not unlimited money. Even though the Fed can definitely print money and make money print and go burr, there is not unlimited money out there. Well, I mean, there is if you devalue the shit out of it, then it's really not money, is it? It's just paper you can wipe your butt with. So, yeah, the market's sitting here going, dude, 280 is our max for XRP. BTC, 107,000, 108,000 in that range right there. We're going to have what for the next 3 weeks? A taper, right? I could easily see a taper happening. Now, would I like to see the taper with some positive news events thrown in there? Like CPI data. Oh, yeah, that could definitely help us out. Juicy CPI data, turn things around like that. Juicy CPI data could make Jerome Powell and the Fed give us a cut in January. You know how much that would roar the markets? Just like Jerome peed in our Cheerios about a week and a half ago when he said you're only going to get 2 cuts instead of 4. Imagine now if the expectation, remember ladies, we talked about expectation versus reality, right? That dude Tony's going to rock your world for an hour straight and homeboy lasts 2 minutes and you're like, yo, I'll just go get my toy. Like, okay, dude, I'm just, whatever. I'm going to think about your best friend while I do it too, you know, because his best friend like works out and he's like totally jacked. So it's expectation versus reality. So if the market is expecting Jerome Powell and the Fed to not make a cut, what happens if we get juicy CPI data and then that forces the Fed to cut? The market would absolutely roar rally right before the January 20th takeover the new pro-crypto regime. The Fed's meeting is 2 days before that, January 18th. So yeah, are we in taper season right now for crypto? Yeah, we are. Of course we're in taper season right now. The hysteria doesn't last. But you tell me, honestly, you tell me, do you think it's going to be quiet the day Gensler announces his resignation? You think it's going to be quiet for the crypto markets the day the pro-crypto leadership takes charge? You think it's going to be quiet those subsequent days, weeks, and months as more announcements of action hitting the ground are taking effect? No, the market's going to react to it. But what the market's reacting to right now is, bro, we sprinted so hardcore. We took XRP from that 50-cent range and we propped it up to $2. That was a lot of heavy lifting, and we all could agree with that. But you can't lift heavy all the time, and sometimes you need to chill out, regroup, and go for the big push. And that big push is January 20th. Speaking of big pushes, dude, check out the new race shoes. My distance race, well, not hyper distance. These are just up for like 6-hour, 30-mile, maybe like 40-mile runs. That's all these are good for. But they're really awesome, and I love the color scheme. And sorry, I can't use them yet because I'm sick, So like I'm just looking at them. I'm like, oh, sorry, sad shoes. You know what I'm saying. Either way, everyone, we got a lot that's going to be happening here over the next few weeks. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. And of course, happy Monday and choo-choo, bitches.